Great evening, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us again on another exciting Upgrade Mastery Just for You. Yes, this is the Upgrade Mastery Just for You. And like you know, we do this every Friday. It's basically from 7 p.m. all through to 8 p.m. And we basically get to share our experiences from the week, the learnings we've had, the challenges we've faced, and how we've been able to overcome all of these things. That's what we get to do every time we come here for the Upgrade Mastery Just for You. So, how are you doing? How was your week, right? Once again, happy new month. Welcome to the month of August, which we know that this will be a month that things will all go well for you, and also a month of signs and wonders for you. So, how are you doing? How was your week? What did you do this first week of August? Yeah, the first 7 days of August I got done and dusted. How has it been for you? What are your plans that you have for this month of August? What do you hope to achieve? What are the things that you hope to tick off your list? You know, this is the 8th month of the year. And like you know, the year is gradually wrapping down. By next month, it will be September. Before you know it, it's December. So, how's it going for you? What are your plans for August? What do you hope to achieve? What are the things you hope to do in August? What are the things you hope to become in August? What are the things you hope to have in the month of August? Tell us about it, right? So for me, so far, the month of August started on a high, started pretty well, right? Being able to achieve what I set out to achieve, projects I need to do and deliver, trainings I need to execute. They're just going as planned and as expected. So I'm really, really grateful. I'm looking out for more opportunities also to be able to achieve these things that I plan to achieve in this month of August. So that's about me, right? I'm thanking God for my health becoming even better and stronger. And yes, more ideas for the things I want to execute and more grace for execution, right? Because sometimes you may have ideas that you want to do, but then you may just be scared, be afraid, be timid, and not want to execute. But when you have the ideas and you have the grace for execution, it just makes everything better for you. So, how are you doing? How's your month shaping up for you? What are the things that you hope to do this month of August? You know, like we said, as much as you have your to do list, you also need to have your don't do list. So, that are the things that you don't want to do in this month of August. You know, you should pay attention to your don't do because sometimes when you don't, uh, when you don't pay attention to it, you end up getting to do them, right? So there are things you must say, oh, no matter what happens, I'm never going to do this, right? They are your don't do list. Yeah. Okay. That being said, how are you doing? All right. Last week we had an interesting conversation where we talked about 3 ways to build friendship, and quite interesting, quite revealing, quite eye-opening. So in case you missed that conversation, please go back on the channel so you can do a catch-up on that conversation. Now this week our gist is quite important, and it's something that I really really hope you will pay attention to because this will really help you on your journey, because this is upgrade mastery just for you, right? It's for you. So we are basically focused on you, on things that would help you on your journey, on things that will help you be a better person, things that will help you become more, help you to have more, and help you to do more, right? So on today's gist, we're going to talk about 3 things to focus on, right? 3 things to focus on. Now, this may look very casual and simple, but pay attention to it because it changes everything for you when you understand this. Literally, it changes everything for you when you understand this and when you're able to focus on it and pay attention to this. Everything changes completely. So that's why right about now, we're going to talk about 3 things to focus on, right? You know, there's this thing about focus, and I've often told us that focus creates blindness, right? Because when you are focused on something, you're blind to other things. Are you getting this? So focus creates blindness. When you're focused on a particular thing, you don't see all the other things that are happening around you. You don't see all the other things that are going on because you are focused on your focus, right? So it's important that people get to understand what their focus are, on what they put their attention to, because you know where attention goes, energy flows, right? Because we live in an attention economy where people are vying for your attention, things are vying for your attention, social media apps are vying for your attention. And with your attention goes your focus. So that's why you must know the three things that you must focus on. There are so many things you could focus on, but these three are things that we believe if you focus on these three things, they will take care of so many other things. You understand the Pareto principle, 80-20, where 20% of your work will give you 80% of your results. So it's important that you focus on that 20% of your work that will give you the 80% of your results than doing 80% of the work that gives you 20% of your result, right? So it's all about focus, right? It's about focus. And when you understand what you should be focused on, it helps you a lot because distraction are things that take you away from your true focus. So when something comes to distract you, it takes your focus away from what it should be on to something else. So distraction doesn't just come to make you lose focus, not exactly. It helps you just switch your focus. So something that is not a priority, something that is not important, you start to focus on it as though it's a priority, as though it's important, whereas that is a distraction. So that's why we're having conversations like this, so you can prioritize, right? And you can refocus. Are you getting this? Because focus creates blindness. And it's important you know what you should be focused on and what you should be blind to, right? Kobans once said that you need to be blind for you to be focused. Well, what that literally means is that you're so focused on something that you become blind to other things. But now, we're going to tell you what three things that you must be focused on, right? What three things that you must be focused on, regardless of the other things that are vying for your attention. Yeah, three important things that you must focus on. And these things would help you to become, to have, and to do. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Okay, so let's make progress. The first thing that you need to focus on, the first thing that you need to focus on, number one, is your health. First thing to focus on is your health. Now, a lot of people may be wondering, but why are you talking about your health? Why? You're okay, you can, as long as you're alive, you're breathing, you're moving, you're good. No, focus on your health. See this, guys. One important aspect of your life is your health. You have only this one body. And if you don't take care of this body, even if you have great, amazing ideas, when this body packs up or shut down, there's little or nothing you can do after that. That's just it. So you must take time to focus on your health, right? There's this thing that health is wealth. It doesn't make sense to use all your health to get wealth, then you're trying to now use the wealth to get back your health. Doesn't make any sense. That's because you did not focus on your wealth, on your health, I beg your pardon, right? Health is wealth because when you're healthy, when you're strong, it helps you to be able to function as a person. When you're healthy, your hormones, right? They don't get the better of you. Because I've seen people where their hormones get the best of them. They're angry, they're irritated, they're behaving anyhow based on their hormones because they're not as healthy as they should be. And it's very critical for you to take care of your health. See, being sick is expensive, right? And not just for the fact that being sick is expensive, being sick is time consuming for you to recuperate, for you to get better. It takes a while. But that can be avoided if you just focus on your health, right? If you just focus on your health. So, three things that you need to focus on this season of your life and as you make progress. Number one is your health. right? And I'm going to share with you simple ways for you to take care of your health, right? Simple ways for you to take care of your health that you just don't need to break a bank for, right? When you get sick or you get diagnosed with something, right, you're going to start to be on treatment. You're going to be on medication. You're going to start to be on injections, drugs, and all of those things, right? You're going to be on compulsory bed rest, right? So that your body can start to recuperate, right? They're going to take you through some exercises so that you can get back yourself. All of this is happening now to remediate the fact that you were never focused on your health before now. So, what do you have to now do so that you can actually focus on your health? I'm going to share that with you so it helps you. So, moving forward, you need to use this as a yardstick or as a benchmark to look at yourself to say, okay, I'm really focusing on my health, right? I know that I have just one body, so I need to take care of it because this is where you're living, right? Anything happens to this, it will affect you. Jesus told the disciples at the Garden of Gethsemane when he came back and saw that they were sleeping, when he had asked them to watch with him. And he told them that indeed the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That statement is heavy. Because yes, you may want to do some things, you may want to activate, you may want to get things done, but the flesh is just weak. The flesh can't. Because the flesh that is weak is because the health wasn't focused on. The health wasn't focused on. And when you don't focus on your health, it will tell on you with time. Right? So you see people who do a lot, they don't sleep, they're always awake, they're now suffering from insomnia, they can't even sleep anymore. That has begun to affect their health. That begin to affect their mental state, that begin to affect their body. Because they never focused on their health. So why are we saying all of this is to help you arrive at that point where your health is a priority, where your health is important to you, where you don't only rest because you are on compulsory bed rest. Because see, no matter how active or how involved you want to be, there are times where you actually need to rest. So 3 simple ways for you to focus on your health, right? Since we say 3 things to focus on, number 1 is health. 3 simple ways to focus on your health that would help you. Number 1 is to eat well. To eat well. Now, I know that in the present day economy, 3 square meals has gone out the window, right? You may not be able to eat 3 square meals, like eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? 3 square meals and everything you eat in between. But if you're focusing on your health, at least you should eat 1 good meal every day. Whether it's for your lunch, whether it's for your dinner, 1 good meal every day. A well-balanced diet every day. 1 good meal. So eat well. Eat balanced diet that has all of the essential nutrients. Eat well. It's part of you focusing on your health. You eat well. Push out the junks. Push out all of those unhealthy foods. Eat well. Because you see, eating well is as good and even better than taking drugs or medication. Because the best medicine for you is food. Literally, the best medicine for you is food. That's why you see that back in the day, aged parents, they lived longer and they lived healthier. Why? They were eating well. They didn't have all the processed food and refined food that we eat today that destroys our body. They were eating well, eating organic food, food from the farm, They were eating well and they lived healthier and longer. They were eating well. So it's important that you, if you're focusing on these three things, which number one is your health, you must learn to eat well. And like I told you, it doesn't matter how difficult the economy may be for you, at least one good meal a day. Eat well. Drink lots of water. Right? Drink lots of water. Your body is 70% water. Drink lots of water. At least, no matter how hard the economy is, water is still affordable. Drink lots of water. At least 4 sachets of water every day. Drink lots of water. But it helps to clear out your system. Drink lots of water. So eat well, drink lots of water. It's the first way to start to focus on your health. Right? Eat well. So get rid of the junks. Get rid of the processed and refined foods. Those things are not healthy for you. Those things actually make you sick. So get rid of them. Go full-blood organic. Eat natural foods, but eat well. Let the ones that you eat a day be balanced. Be a balanced diet. Have all the nutrients. Have all the things that is for a healthy food. Not every time noodles and all of those little things that really don't add up to you. No, not everything. Carbs. No. Eat well. It's not as much as the quantity, but as much as the quality. Right? So eat well. And as you eat well, drink lots of water. Put out the sodas, put out the fizzy drinks, drink lots of water. It's part of you focusing on your health. Right? It's part of you focusing on your health. So eat well. You know, when Jesus fed the multitude, he didn't give them 3 square meals, but he gave them a balanced meal, bread and fish, a balanced meal. And they ate till they were full. They were full and they had leftover. They ate well. Prior to that time, they hadn't eaten for 3 days, but they ate till they are full. Because what he provided them with was balanced. You know, when God was raining down manna in the wilderness, manna would come morning and evening. In fact, manna would come once a day, so they keep enough that will last them for that day. Once a day, manna will come in the morning. By the time they wake up, they will see manna, and they will keep and gather what will last them for that day. So God understood the concept of eating a good meal daily. No wonder in the Lord's Prayer, it says, give us each day our daily bread. Each day. So it's not as much as how many times you've eaten, but as much as what have you eaten. Is it balanced? Or you just eat because, just fill your tummy. No. You must eat something balanced. It's part of focusing on your health, because food in itself is medication. You know, your body, the way it's designed, is designed to heal itself. That's why you notice that even sometimes when you're sick and you don't take medication and you're eating well, over time you recover, because your body is designed to heal itself. Well, what will fast track that healing for you is how well you eat. That's why you also notice that when you're sick, you don't feel like eating. That's the time you should eat, because your body needs the food for it to recover. So don't just see food as that thing you eat to quench hunger. See food as that thing that you eat to stay healthy. Are you getting it? So that will help you eat well. You don't just eat food to quench your hunger, you eat food to stay healthy. So you eat well. Right? The second thing you need to do that helps you to focus on your health is to rest well. To rest well. You know, Many of us like to keep working, like to burn the candles on both ends, like to keep working, pushing ourselves, doing the grind. See, whether you like it or not, you must learn to rest well. Because I often say this, and it comes up as a joke, but pay attention to it. If you don't learn to rest peacefully, you will soon rest in peace. Are you getting this? So learn to rest well. Even God in creation, in Genesis 1, he rested. God initiates rest. He rested. And in Hebrews 4, it says, labor not therefore to enter into your rest. And all those who have entered into rest have ceased from their labor. Learn to rest. It's part of you focusing on your health. Rest well. Sleep. Put off the phone. Get the gadget off the bed. Sleep. Rest well. You need to rest. Even the good book says he gives his beloved sweet sleep. Rest well. Yes, there are dreams you want to achieve. There are visions you want to build, but rest. It's part of focusing on your health. Learn to rest, because if you don't learn to rest peacefully, you will soon rest in peace. And we don't want you to rest in peace at a young age. That would be untimely. So you need to learn how to rest. Shut down the phone. Turn off the laptop. Rest. I know some people say, well, I want to build X, Y, Z. That's why I can't rest. See, when your health fails, many of those things that you're building, many of them will fail. Many of them will fail. So you need to learn to rest well. It's part of focusing on your health. You need to learn to rest well. Sleep. Turn off the phones. Turn off the laptop. Sleep. Rest yourself so your body can recuperate, so your body can refresh. Rest. Why do you think that the West, they plan vacation? Why do you think that vacation is part of their plans? Is a way for them to actually rest and shut out work. Because for 365 days, you get to work. Why don't you create a small portion of those 365 days for you to fully rest? But if you live in a part of the world where vacation is not possible, then find ways to include rest, because it's for your health. Find ways to include rest. When you know this is just you doing you, resting. No work, nothing bothering you, just resting. It's part of focus on your health. You rest. Are you getting it? And then the third thing that helps you to focus on your health is to exercise. It's to exercise. You know, thankfully, there are a lot of people who now use their smartwatches to do 10,000 steps daily and all of that. But beyond doing 10,000 steps daily, learn to exercise. And I'm not even advocating, oh, you must hit the gym, right? Have the discipline to exercise every single day in your own way. Whether it's in your room, you exercise before you take your bath, or you exercise after you take your bath, which I think it's preferable you exercise before you take your bath, because when you take your bath, it just refreshes you with the running of water over your body again and all of that. But exercise, even if it's just push-ups, it's just squats, it's just running on one spot, exercise or skipping or running around your room or running around your compound, exercise. See, when it comes to exercise, consistency is more important than intensity, right? You will stay more fit if you exercise daily than going to the gym once a week. Going to the gym once a week and doing so much in 1 hour, 2 hours, that's intensity. But doing that same level of exercise every single day for 7 days is consistency. The difference will be seen in you after 30 days doing your exercise at home than going 4 times in a month to the gym. With exercise is more of consistency over intensity. So exercise is part of you taking care of your health. See some people, they will just climb the stairs, and they're panting. They're breathing. That's a sign of lack of exercise. That's your body telling you you need to exercise. They walk for a small distance and they're losing their breaths. They're tired. That's a sign that you're lacking exercise. And that's proof that you're not focusing on your health. So the way to focus on your health, very simple, that you can begin to practice from now. Eat well, rest well, exercise well. This will help you focus on your health. Trust me, you need your health for you to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve while you're on this God's green earth. You need your health. Like I said, health would help you create your wealth. But it doesn't make any sense to use all your health to get wealth and now looking for health back with the wealth that you got. But if you do these basic things, it will help you to focus on your health. You eat well, you rest well, you exercise well. These are remedies if you want to focus on your health. Very simple. Very simple. Food is the new medication. Rest is very critical. Exercise is non-negotiable. These 3 things helps you to focus on your health. I know we're talking about 3 things to focus on. And number 1, we say is your health. Number 2 that you need to focus on is your growth. Right? The second thing you need to focus on is your growth. See this, guys. Your growth is your responsibility. Nobody's responsible for your growth. Nobody. Not even me, who's sharing this with you every Friday. I'm not responsible for your growth. They say people can teach you. It is up to you to learn. Pay attention to that. People can teach you, but it's up to you to learn. So your learning is your responsibility. Your learning is you focusing on your growth. See this. You can blame anybody you want to blame. You can blame your parents, you can blame your siblings, you can blame the society, you can even blame God. You can blame anybody you want to blame. But the truth still remains, your growth is your responsibility. The person you are becoming is entirely up to you. So you must focus on your growth and tell yourself the brutal truth. You know, many times we lie to ourselves. We know that this is not helping our growth, but yet we assume that it's helping because we are delusional. We are delulu. And then we already know the Lulu is not the Solulu. So don't lie to yourself. Focus on your growth. What are the things that help you to become better? Those are the things that you should focus on. Right? Focus on your development. How are you developing? How are you improving? How are you becoming a better person? Focus on your development. You're reading. You're learning. Focus on your development. You're practicing. Focus on your development. It's how you focus on your growth. Because you see, you're only as valuable and responsible to the level of your growth. The reason why people want to associate with you, the reason why people want to come close to you, the reason why people want to have anything to do with you is because they have seen your growth. So it's on you to focus on your growth. Nobody wants a liability. Everybody wants an asset. How do you become an asset? You focus on your growth. You keep improving yourself. You keep learning. You keep expanding your mind. That's your improvement. That's your development. You're focused on your growth. You know, you see people come on social media. They're arguing. They're talking. They're sharing their ideas. You know, there's something I've come to learn I'm beginning to realize is that when you hear the conversations that come out from the mouth of people, it shows to you whether they are growing or they are not. You will know whether they read or whether they don't. So while people are busy doing whatever they want to do, focus on your growth. Everyone only needs somebody who's valuable. Everyone only needs somebody who is responsible. Everyone only needs somebody who they know is resourceful. You know, I've always said that you may not need to have all the resources, but you must be resourceful. And the way you become resourceful is when you focus on your growth. That's what helps you to become resourceful. So take out time, right? Focus on your growth. Does this help me become a better person? Does this help me improve? Does this help me do better? Focus on your growth. The truth of the matter is nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. When you understand this, it changes a lot of things for you. Nobody cares. Everybody cares about what they can benefit from you. They don't care about you per se. So if you don't focus on your growth, nobody cares about you. Nobody sees your growth as a priority for them. No. In fact, sometimes they see your growth as a threat to them. So they don't even want to see you grow. So it's your responsibility to focus on your growth and to grow. That is why it's important that you focus on your growth. Now, I'm going to tell you 3 simple ways that you can focus on your growth. Number 1, your development. Read books. Go for programs, right? Watch YouTube videos that helps you grow. Listen to podcasts. It's part of your development. You're getting new ideas. You're getting new things that you need to think about, right? It's opening your horizon. It's broadening your mind. Are you getting this? It's broadening your mind. Focus on your development. You see, when you watch the butterfly, the stages of the butterfly, it goes from egg to larva to caterpillar, then to the butterfly. All of these stages, the butterfly has to focus on it for itself, for it to emerge as the butterfly. When it's at the cocoon stage, right, when it gets into the cocoon, when it moves from the caterpillar into the cocoon, you can't help it. It has to focus on itself so it can evolve and emerge as the butterfly. So the same way for you as a person, there's some things that people cannot help you. You have to help yourself. And helping yourself is focusing on your growth. You are not selfish. You are just focused on your growth, because when you develop yourself, you can help more persons. You know, there's a saying that you cannot give out of an empty cup. You can't pour out of an empty cup. So if you don't focus on your growth, you cannot help others grow. So you become a liability like them. So focus on your growth. Look away from the distractions. Focus on your growth. Read, study, practice. Focus on your growth. That's your development. And nobody is responsible for that for you. That's entirely your responsibility. So you have to focus on your growth. Right? As you focus on your growth, you start to see improvement. So you start to see that, things that you would have reacted to before, now you don't react to them anymore. That's improvement because you are growing. You know, Paul says something in scripture. 1 Corinthians 13:11. He said, when I was a child, I taught as a child. I understood as a child. I spoke as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Now, the reason why some things get to you as they do is because they have not grown. It's a sign that there is growth to be done, because the more you grow, the more you respond better than reacting. A lot of people react because of the lack of growth. Because with growth comes improvement. What would have tripped you up? What would have tipped you off like a bomb no longer gets to you. You diffuse it. But there's improvement. What have made you upset all day? You just know what it is. You move on. You have a great day, regardless. Why? There's improvement. It shows that you are focused on your growth. There's this thing that says that help me to live with the things that I cannot change. Help me to live with the things that I cannot change. It's you focusing on growth, and that's part of improvement. And the largest room in the world is the room for improvement, so you can improve. Nobody says that you have to be the way you have always been. There's room for improvement. There's room for improvement. That's when you focus on your growth. So you see opportunities for improvement. So nobody's going to tell you, oh, you need to be growing in this area. No, it's your responsibility. That's why we say focus on your growth. It's your growth. It's your growth. It's called personal development for a reason, because it's personal. It's personal. So focus on your growth. You focus on your growth, because with growth comes improvement. Right? So you see, the makers of the iPhones, Apple, they focus on their growth. Every year, there's a new model that comes out, which is an improvement from the last model. It's because they focus on their growth. They're not looking at Samsung, they focus on their growth. So a new model comes out every year because of their improvement. So you see, when you focus on growth, you will see development, you will see improvement. It's part of your focus on your growth. And this is why it's important that you focus on your growth. Nobody's responsible for your growth for you. Nobody. Not even me that's sharing this with you. I'm not responsible for your growth. You are responsible for your growth. And like I tell you, it's my responsibility to teach you. It is your responsibility to learn. Are you getting this? It's my responsibility to teach you. It is your responsibility to learn. And you learn when you start to focus on your growth. Because learning is about study and practice. Paul speaking to Timothy in 1 Timothy 4:15, he says, study. 2 Timothy 2:15, I beg your pardon. Right? 1 Timothy 4:15 tells you to meditate upon these things. Give yourself entirely to them, that your profiting will appear to all. That's 1 Timothy 4:15. Right? Then 2 Timothy 2:15 tells you that study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needs not to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. Both scriptures show that you must focus on your growth. First one says, meditate upon these things. Give yourself entirely unto them, that your profiting will appear to all. Second one says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman. Study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. So both shows the importance of growth, and both shows development, shows improvement. So your growth is your responsibility. Nobody is responsible for that but you. Give me a minute. right? Nobody is responsible for that but you. It's absolutely your responsibility. Absolutely. It's absolutely your responsibility. So your growth is your responsibility. So focus on it. So with your growth comes development, with your growth comes improvement, with your growth comes upgrade, right? That's why we say leave good behind because the enemy of your grade is good. So leave good behind. So as you focus on your growth, there will be upgrades. There will be upgrades. That's why we keep saying that there's always more on the upgrade side of life. There will be upgrade as you focus on your growth. So don't stay stuck in a place when growth is available and growth is possible. So it's on you to focus on your growth. It's on you. And it's important that you take this seriously, right? Because with your growth comes development. With your growth comes improvement. With your growth comes upgrade. So focus on your growth. Very important, right? Focus on your growth. right? So focus on your growth. That's very important that you get to do. Focus on your growth. So, three ways to focus on your growth that makes it even easier for you. Number one, your development. Number two, your improvement. And number three, your upgrade. These are ways you focus on your growth and it changes everything for you, right? And now, the third area for you to focus on, which is very important as the other previous two, is to focus on your focus. Yeah, focus on your focus. Now, if you've been able to focus on your health, focus on your growth, the next thing to focus on is to focus on your focus, which means you now know your priority and you spend so much time on that priority alone. Nothing else comes in between. Nothing else comes in between. You just focus on your priority, right? You focus on your focus. And what are the things you should focus on? Focus on your dream. Now you have the health, you have the growth, focus on your dream. See, people will come and go, right? I say this to people that your life is like an airport. There are those that are arriving, there are those that are departing. Focus on your focus, right? It's not about who arrives, it's not about who departs, it's about you, right? The reason why they are coming in the first place is because you have value. If you are not valuable, they would leave and you can't hold them back. So focus on you, focus on your focus. Focus on your focus. Very important. Don't be distracted by everything that's happening around. Just focus on your focus, right? And on your focus should be your dream. I have often told us that no dream comes alive while sleeping. You must do the work. No dream comes alive while sleeping. You have to wake up to work on it for it to become a reality. So focus on your focus. And one of the things you must focus on is your dream. And I've told you this before. The dream is not that which you see when you sleep. A dream is that which will not let you sleep. So focus on your dream, right? Then focus on your vision, what you want to achieve, what you want to build. Focus on your vision. Focus on your vision. Anyone who's not helping you achieve your dream or build your vision is a distraction. I'm getting this. Anyone who's not helping you achieve your dream or build your vision is a distraction. Cut them off. They are distractions. And remember, distractions are the things that you see when you take your eyes off your vision. So focus on your vision. Focus on your vision. Let go of the distraction. Remove the distractions. Remove the distractions. Anyone or anything that doesn't help your dream or your vision is a distraction. And be brutal with your distractions. Because your distractions can stop you from becoming all that you can be. So focus on your focus. By the time you see the signs, like they say, you first see signs before you start to see wonders. By the time you see the signs that this is not helping my dream, this is not helping my focus, this is not helping my vision, before you start to see wonders, the signs I've told you, let go of them. Put them aside. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Focus on your vision. And then focus on your priority. I often say this, everything is important, but some things are more important than others. Focus on your priority. Right? Focus on your priority. Anyone who wants to leave at the door, they can go. But focus on your priority. And I've often said that those who leave as friends will return as fans. So don't be scared when anybody leaves. No, let them go. Even Jesus said they went out from us because they were never part of us. Don't force anyone to stay. Don't beg anyone to stay. Focus on your priority. Let them go. They want to take a walk, bid them farewell. But you must have this certainty that those who live as friends, they will return as fans. That's only possible because you focus on your focus. You refuse to be distracted. You focus on your dream. You focus on your vision. You focus on your priority. Because you focus on your focus. The world that we live in today, distraction is in the air. You can breathe in distraction. It's everywhere. So this is why you must learn to focus on your focus. Anyone who doesn't want to build their dream is on them. Au revoir. I bid you farewell. But me, I've chosen to focus on my dream. I've chosen to focus on my vision. I'm chosen to focus on my priority. I told you, everything is important, but some things are more important than others. Some things are more important than others. So focus on your priority. Don't be caught in the web of distractions. No, focus on your priority. Because at the end of the day, what is yours can never be on yours. It can be on yours. So focus. Because if you don't focus, you will go off course. That's it. If you don't focus, you will go off course. So don't go off course, just focus. That's why we brought this gist for you today, so that you can know the 3 things to focus on. And some people say, oh, you didn't talk about focusing on making money or focusing on your spirituality. Making money is part of your growth. Your spirituality is part of your growth. Focus on it. Your growth is what holds how much money you make, because they say that if you learn more, you will earn more. So if you don't grow, there's certain kind of amount that can never come to you. So even the level of money you make is dependent on the growth you have. So that's why I say focus on these 3 things. They change the narrative for you completely. Focus on your health. When you have health, there's so much you can do because you're healthy. When you have health, you can live up to 90. You know, Caleb told Moses when he was 80, he said, give me that mountain, and I will take it like I was 40 years ago. That somebody who was 80 still sound like he was 40. He focused on his health. He focused on his health. When people are 50, they're already feeling like they're old. Focus on your health. Psalm 91 tells us that the last verse says, with long life will I satisfy you and show you my salvation. So God has promised you long life. You are the one that will ensure you have that long life by how you focus on your health. Are you getting this? God has assured you long life, but you are the one who would enjoy the long life by how you focus on your health. If you destroy your health, there's little or nothing God can do for you with long life. Because God will not want to see you in pains in the long life. It's long life, not long suffering. It's not long suffering. So focus on your health. And focus on your growth. The kind of life you want to achieve is dependent on your growth. The kind of life you want to live is dependent on your growth. Focus on your growth. Stop being a child when you can mature. Right? Stop being a child when you can mature. Paul said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child, I behaved like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things because Paul has grown. Paul has grown. So focus on your growth. The way you react to things is the proof that you have not grown. That's why I say that by merely having conversations with people, you will know if they have grown or they are yet to grow. Mere conversations. You will know whether they read or they don't read. Mere conversations. You have people, you're having conversation, they're saying sharp, makes sense, deep. Wow, wow, wow. Are you a siren? Are you an ambulance? Because you don't focus on your growth. Are you getting this? And then the third thing I told you to focus on your focus. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Focus on your focus. Focus on your dream. Focus on your vision. Focus on your priority. Focus on your focus. These are three things to focus on: your health, your growth, your focus. Focus on these three things and you will live an amazing life. Trust me, you will live an amazing life. Just focus on these three things. So whenever you want to look at things that will distract you, does it come against your health? Does it come against your growth? Does it come against your focus? Anything that comes against this is a distraction. So it's easy for you to know your distractions. It's easy for you to know your distractions. Right? Okay, so someone asked a question. I'm going to put it up on the screen and then I'll take the question. Someone asked a question and says, "Sir, I understand what you say and I totally agree with you, but the discipline to actually focus is very hard. I have tried and failed so many times. Sir, please, any tips or strategies I can use?" I love this, right? I love this question. Very amazing question. And it's a question that cut to the heart. It's a very practical question, right? I agree on what you said about focus, but the discipline to actually focus is very hard. You know, I would recommend that you go watch the session I did on Sunday on discipline. I had a full 1 hour session on discipline. So go watch that session on discipline. It will help you, right? That's the first strategy I would recommend. Go and watch the session we did on Sunday on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrades on the channel here, right? I talked about discipline. In fact, I knew that people are suffering from discipline, and that's why I did a full 1 hour session on discipline. So go and watch that session. And if after you finish watching that session, you still have questions to ask, drop a comment. The team will reach out to you and send you my WhatsApp number. In fact, check on the channel, you see my WhatsApp number. Send me a message on WhatsApp. Then we'll take it up from there. But first, go watch the session on discipline. It was last Sunday I had that session on discipline, right? Watch that session. If you still have a question, my WhatsApp is on the channel. Send me a message on WhatsApp. In fact, let me just type my WhatsApp number here now so you can just have it. So send me a message on WhatsApp and we'll talk more after now. But that's after you watch the session on discipline, right? Send me a message on WhatsApp and then we'll get to talk. But I love that question. I love the practicality in that question. Does this make sense? Okay, so I'll just leave the number there. So send me a message on WhatsApp. After you watch the session on discipline and you still have questions, then let's talk on WhatsApp. Right? That's my personal WhatsApp I've left for you because you asked that question. Does that make sense? So you can screenshot it and you can always reach out to me. But it's after you watch the session on discipline. Because when you reach out, I'm going to ask you what you learned from that session on discipline. And then we can get into talking about the question you just asked now. The strategies, the tips, the discipline. I shared it on that session, right? Yeah, watch the session and send me a message. Thank you so much. I look forward to your message, right? Watch the session, send me a message. We'll take it up from there. So guys, thank you so very much for joining us on the Upgrade Mastery Just For You. I love this session. I love this session like always. I always tell you guys, see guys, so much you learn. So much you can learn when you come on the Upgrade Mastery Just For You, and it's always just designed for you. And like I told you, it's my responsibility to teach you. It's your responsibility to learn. When you learn, you will see results in your life. Like I often say that the proof of any learning is practice, and the proof of practice is result. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in another amazing session that we're going to have on the Upgrade Mastery just for you. Until then, remember, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. And that's why I encourage you to leave good behind so that you can upgrade. And what better way for you to upgrade than to know the 3 things that you need to focus on? These 3 things will change the trajectory of your life. Focus on your health, focus on your growth, focus on your focus. And I can't wait to hear your testimonies and your feedback when you practice these 3 things to focus on. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.